It's No Gifts, Please, the parenting podcast by the pair with no real gifts, but a whole lot of gumption. Welcome, everyone. I'm Jenny Anchondo.
I'm Steve Noviello. It's so nice to get to see folks again, and we really want to thank everybody for all the support. We've had such a fun time with this project, and I got to tell you, I look at the numbers, and it's nice to see them steadily climb. And not only do they climb, but our retention rate for our episodes, I know we've been getting feedback. People say we wanted it to be longer, but we hold like 90% of our audience from the moment they push play all the way until the credits roll at the end, which is pretty unusual.
They wonder what kind of disaster is going to unfold with these two today.
I know, right? Okay, so we've got a really great guest on today, and kind of this very kind of strange and interesting thing that's happening. So we were talking about baby registries before we went on the air because I did send you a gift for the new baby, for the sprinkle.
Thank you for the thermometer. I was thinking as I received it, I thought, oh my gosh, Steve is definitely going to be judging me like, you have a 6-year-old and you don't have a thermometer? Why did you have to wait for a baby registry? Brighton, though, like I said, is kind of an ox.
She does not get sick.
She generally, knock on wood, quite well.
Yeah.
Like when on the off time that we have to take her, they're like, does she have a fever? I'm like, I felt her forehead. Like, I don't know. You're the doctor.
See, I don't have that gift, that mom mouth. I don't, where they, my mom does. She's very,
you can kind of tell.
I'm like, are they? I always say to Doug, we should really look at their throats on a healthy day. So we have a basis for comparison because I feel like they're always kind of red. I don't know.
Well, the nature of a throat is that it is red. This is accurate. You've got it figured out.
We're done.
You figured it out. So so thank you for
welcome.
that. And I did register for the baby. Now I feel weird about it, but I did. But honestly, we need the stuff. It's been 6 years. I've given all the stuff away.
Well, apparently. So. And there should be something else coming out. I honestly forgot what it was. But what I found interesting, so and probably for Brighton as well, I know for Jacob and Hudson, we actually went shopping to a store, like with the little gun. Like, and we had Babies R Us to choose from. We had Bye Bye Baby to choose from. I don't even think we did Target because there were these specialty baby stores. Well, now they're gone. I mean, they're just not around anymore. So you were kind of limited to the internet.
So bizarre. Well, everyone sort of in my due date range went to Bye Bye Baby and bought up all that last random stuff as they were closing down. Right? I didn't do that because I was like, I don't even know what. I can't do a store.
No. And honestly, I've done so many stories on like what is a liquidation sale and what are the prices and do they mark it up and then mark it back down and you're comparing whatever. But here's and getting to our guest, here is kind of this very kind of strange phenomenon that this has really fed. So people are buying more and more baby products, safety products, car seats, that kind of stuff online as opposed to in store, which apparently is giving way to people, unfortunately, mistakenly buying counterfeit stuff. Because you think you're getting a good deal online and you realize, oh, wait a minute, this is not the actual stuff.
Well, a huge study was just done on this.
Yes.
I mean, it's quite peculiar. So I'm glad that we have an expert in this because I think it's very new and of the moment.
Okay, and not only an expert in this, but I have to give a shout out to these folks. They're the What to Expect people. So first of all, Melissa Bajkowski, thank you for joining us today. We certainly appreciate you being here as our guest. She is the executive editor at What to Expect, Parenting and Pregnancy Resource. And we were obsessed with I know there's the book, but we were obsessed with the app, Melissa, during our pregnancies, and that super sweet woman would come on once a week and be like, it's week 13. You're a little bundle of joy as a blueberry. And you'll never, I don't know who she is, but please thank her for me.
I will. That's Heidi Murkoff. She's the founder of What to Expect, and she is incredible.
We are kind of fangirling. Are you fanboying over the fact that we have the actual What to Expect people on the show today? It's just an iconic resource.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. That I know we certainly looked on. So Melissa, talk to us here. So this is a surge of counterfeit products of really kind of not just any baby stuff, but really essential gear that a lot of parents are out there buying. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, so you're exactly right. More parents are shopping online. And a lot of these third-party retailers are not able to do quality control of their products as well. So what's happening is, when you come home from the hospital and you have to bring your car seat to the hospital. So a lot of hospitals have injury prevention coordinators. And what their job is to check the car seat before you leave the hospital and make sure that everything looks good, your baby is appropriately put into the car seat, and they're noticing that there's an increase of counterfeit car seats in parents' households being purchased. So they're flagging that.
I mean, that's crazy. And I think that also, I do think that it's kind of human. Look, car seats are expensive. I remember the first time that we bought, and not only did we need them for our car, but I needed one, for my car, for my husband's car, for my mother-in-law's car, for my parents' vehicle. I mean, you're buying like 4 at a time. Now we have 2 kids. We have 8 car seats, between all the different cars. And I think that it's human nature to try and save a couple of bucks here.
Well, yeah, of course. And when you look at something like this, I can only imagine the turmoil that somebody goes through if they're getting that safety check as they're leaving. You're so frightened as a new parent. Like, are they really sending me home with the child and like no manual? And then to find out that your car seat is not safe. What is the risk of having a counterfeit car seat? Because I think a lot of people will be like, well, I don't care about a name brand. I'm just trying to make sure my child's safe.
So there's not an insanely high risk. I don't want to make parents feel really nervous about this. It's still so important to check your car seat installation. That is much more common of an issue that parents should be paying attention to. But I also want them to realize if this does happen, it is not their fault. And the fact that they learned about it is so important, and they're on their way to getting a safe car seat now. But a good red flag is exactly what you were saying with the deals. If a typically $400 car seat is on sale online on some site they never heard of for $80, probably is too good to be true, and it's not worth the risk, because you can get a certified car seat for around $60.
Are there red flags that people should look out for? Is there a seal or a stamp or a messaging or something on the car seat? Because there's all sorts of language on these things. There's all sorts of text. Is there something I should be looking out for so that I know, okay, this one's real?
Yes. So there's a few things. The Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard makes sure that every car seat sold in the United States that's undergone crash testing and meets all the necessary safety standards have a manufacturer's seal. To me, that is extremely important. That includes the address, the phone number, the name of the model and the make. And that way you have an immediate entry point that if you do have a concern, you can call that manufacturer's number, give them your make and model, and they can look it up for you. They can give you the entire history of your car seat, where it's from, and that it is regulated. Also, as you were saying, the labels. So all U.S. Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard certified car seats, mouthful, have a label that says this child restraint system conforms to all applicable Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards.
Okay.
So it is going to be written on your car seat.
You're looking for the manufacturer's label, and then you're looking for that long word you just said. It's like if you buy a Chanel bag, they give you a certificate of authenticity, right? And a lot of people know that. I think more people know.
Well, they can track where that bag. I mean, the serial number on a Chanel bag will tell you exactly when it was manufactured.
It's the same thing, right? Except for this is, buying a fake bag has zero danger.
This is far more precious things to carry than, I don't know what's in your Chanel bag, but.
I can't remember my baby in there. Who knows? But yeah, so you want to call it. And you mentioned the $60 car seat. I would love to hear how you find out where
do we
that
get one
is.
Of those?
There. If you go to, so my advice is always starting at a brick and mortar store if you can. So
Wait,
Target, Walmart. I know, right? But Target and Walmart still do exist. There is quality control. Anything they have inside their stores are going to be regulated and approved and safe to use. So if you're registering at these stores, you can often go in and talk to a specialist. You can even possibly bring them out to your car and try it out in your car, see if it fits. So that's always the best place to start with looking.
I will say as well, and you were speaking about, registering, of course, for a list of things, but what about registering the seat that you buy with the manufacturer? I would imagine if, God forbid, you did end up with one of these counterfeit seats, calling, the company to register your seat, as a lot of people do for warranty information, would probably set off a red flag sooner rather than later, because they would probably be able to identify that, oh, wait a second, you actually didn't buy a car seat from us.
Yes, and that is something to look for as well. All car seats should come with a registration card, and that is exactly what you mail back to make sure you're getting up-to-date recall information as well. So if you open your box and there's no registration card, have questions. Give the manufacturer a call and make sure they actually created your car seat.
Is this happening with other things besides car seat, or any other items that we're receiving that we're buying online that we should be looking for?
So car seats are the big ones. What's also happening, so strollers and cribs are also the bigger gear that you want to make sure meets safety standards. What's happening also beyond the idea of counterfeits is some of these gear are made in other countries. So they meet the standards of other countries' regulatory systems, but do not meet United States standards. And what that means is insurance doesn't cover them, and there's no easy ability to track recalls. So definitely strollers, cribs, and just recalled items all around. Just always make sure your product hasn't been recalled.
Oh, see, I didn't realize that. So something could be manufactured to the standard of a different country and then still be allowed to be sold in the U.S., even if it doesn't meet U.S. manufacturing standards?
So not technically. It is illegal to sell products that are made in other countries in the United States. But with the increase of online shopping, a lot of people aren't realizing they're buying something from, especially with Amazon, where everybody's registering. They're not realizing that they're adding the, European version of their car seat to their registry, and somebody's ordering it.
Okay, so
what
selfishly,
kind of thermometer did you get me?
No, it was made in the USA. I promise.
Thank you.
Okay, so selfishly, we have a couple of car seat questions of our own.
Major.
Okay, so I know this is a thing in Jenny's house. Her husband does not believe in car seats.
He puts her in one. We've never been without one, but I think he thinks it's kind of baloney. Well, she's like, I want to be in a booster seat. She's 6. Her other friends are also 6. I haven't put her in a booster seat. I see no reason to.
So what's the recommendation? Because I think that I hear, are they this tall? Are they this old? Do they weigh this much? Is it a culmination of all of those things?
Yes. So every car seat will have a maximum weight and height, and it is directed to leave them in there for as long as possible, because the safety of the clips and the harnesses. Did you win? You won?
I win. Yes, we exclusively brought you on here so I could win. So yes, thank you.
And the same, I know a lot of younger kids see their friends front facing and their parents keep them rear facing for longer. Same thing applies. As long as you can keep your kid rear facing, it's just much more safer. Yeah,
and I'll tell you, as a parent, selfishly, sometimes I'm like, oh, can we get rid of the big heavy? Every time I got to move this thing. Our boys are now in a booster seat and then kind of like in a booster with a back. It's not a harness situation anymore. It's a buckle, right? And it's a much lighter, easier thing to maneuver. And we might be a little ahead.
I'm disinterested in you sharing that information with my husband or my daughter. I will do play dates with you every day as long as you withhold your car seat information. Because Smother Mother over here has got, but Brighton only weighs like 43 pounds.
I was going to say, our kids are big though. We have big, heavy kids.
The weight limit on this thing, it's like 130 pounds. It's huge. It's a huge weight limit. So I was like, girl, you're 43 pounds. Like, you are not maxing this thing out. You are fine.
All right, Melissa, do me a favor, tell people where they can find more information. And of course, for those people who don't know the What to Expect brand, I can't imagine there are many of them, but where can they learn more about the company?
Sure. They can download the What to Expect app. Also visit us at whattoexpect.com and across social media platforms on What to Expect.
All right. We certainly appreciate you being with us today. Thank you so much. And, and Jenny, to your point, when you're talking about, I'm buying something that's even when we're talking about silly things like I'm on the hunt for new sunglasses right now, and I'm so tempted to buy what appears to be a genuine pair of them from a place that was going to save me a significant amount of money. I know that when I wear them, I will think to myself forever that this is I do this all the time.
Really?
Yes, just buy. Just if you want them, save up and buy them.
The problem is you've got a whole brand based on saving money. So it's like a conflict between your taste, but then also what you've researched for decades
Right.
in media and
because
news.
every now and again you do get but I mean, when I will say when it does come to the kids though, we are much more stringent about, but that's why I miss the stories. I'll tell you, I mean, Buy My Baby is essentially gone, although, maybe not, because what Overstock bought the Bed Bath and Beyond brand.
You can still order from some stuff.
But you know what? There was nothing like going to those stores, because that one in particular, I will say, even though some of these kids in there were like 19 years old, they knew their stuff.
Oh,
they
knew
their stuff. Yeah.
I completely agree. And then they would talk about the stages and how at this size you'll move to a booster. Do you want one that converts, or would you like to revisit that when the child's such and such age? I agree. It was actually quite remarkable.
What did you guys do? Did you do the convertible?
Got one little baby carrier kind of thing that attached to a stroller.
Yeah.
So that was great. So we had that for itty bitty baby size. I'm hoping to find it somewhere, and I guess check to see if it's recalled.
Right.
It better not be.
Right.
Because it was an investment. And then for the next round, which again was for me, for Heath, for my parents' house in Idaho, that next round we did the kind that converts to all the things. I mean, kids in Texas are in car seats until they're like 25
12.
years old.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no. Well, and it's funny because when we did that in the store, the guy was like, you can buy this and it's a safety. I mean, there was like stage one, it had like padding, then you take the padding out and like you adjust the angle, and then it converts to a booster with a back, and then it converts to just a booster and whatever. And I remember Doug was like, okay, but do you think that we're still going to have this thing in 10 years? And I was like, it is $400. We will absolutely have this thing in 10 years.
Who is VP cleaning the car seats in your house?
We each have our own, so we have to do our own. But I will say the kids tend to throw up in my car and never in Doug's, ever. Never. I don't understand how that's happened.
Fun fruits or whatever.
And it's Jacob. I mean, it's happened like twice, but there's nothing. Has Brighton ever?
No, I told you she's an ox.
Swear this girl.
She's an ox. I don't know. I know.
It's happened twice. I'll be like, Daddy, I know.
Oh no!
And, I mean,
you're making me nauseous.
Do you know, like the crevices of the car seat? There's so many little places to catch and gather, and
I'm legitimately getting nauseous.
Oh my! It's the worst. And then you have to solve the like matrix puzzle of like the rubber band, because nothing just hooks on, right? You put it, then you've got to take this and you stretch it to here, and and there's no. I mean, I'm washing things, but no, we each do our own when it comes to that. Yeah.
This is where Heath is VP car seat.
Oh, really? He does them all.
He cleans them all.
See?
And that's why I don't give him, too much grief when he's like, I think we should probably move her onto a booster. She's 17 years old. And I'm like, wait, are you sure? Let's check the guidelines. So let's check with the state. Should we ask the sheriff's department?
Yeah.
But he does do all of the cleaning and then just the adjusting, because there's like that little measurement ball thing, and it has to be even in order to be correct. So even though he's not a big fan of them, he is compliant.
Yeah. Well, and I think that the other thing too is that we were so excited. Now I'm kind of like, slow down. But at the beginning, you're so excited for the next stage, right? You're so, now we're going to be forward facing, and we're going to be this, and we're going to be that, and we're going to, we're going to adjust the angle. So I think that, especially with the second one, I mean, I'm so excited that you're having a second child, because I'm really interested to see what that journey looks like for you guys, because with Brighton, it's just been her for almost 7 years now, right?
Yeah.
And there's
and
never.
I do think that's easier.
Well,
like
not even that it's easier, but that like I do think that sometimes that second child syndrome thing is a real. Are you a second child?
I'm a classic first.
Oh, you are a classic first. Right? You're a Monica.
Classic first.
You're a Monica. I'm a second child.
My brothers had different rules than I did.
Well, and with Hudson, right? I think that we kind of, not that we rush things along for him, but like at the end of the day, he's never going to catch up to his older brother, right?
Sure.
Period. Even if you outgrow him, outsports him, outperform him, outsing him, whatever you have a better,
where you can say outmarry him.
Whatever, I mean, you'll always, but God, I hope they marry well.
I have no doubt they will.
I hope so. If anybody's listening, but actually,
I've got an eligible bachelorette that, depending on the day, is quite interested in both of them.
I will say, like we have joked because our sons are smitten with your daughter. Smitten, especially Hudson. And I think that the person who wins in that is you.
One and Brighton, because I'm sorry, there's no mother-in-law.
Yeah, 2 gay dads.
2 dads.
How nice would that be for you?
Two
no mother-in-law.
people who build things and are helpful and fix things and are nurturing and loving and
could keep you in good lighting and flattering clothes.
I mean, it's so obvious.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. All right. Hey, we're running out of time here, but we do want to tell people, can you remind folks where to come, where to go, where to click and subscribe?
I wanted to do a quick poll question. Just out of curiosity, you guys, when are you moving to a booster? When are you moving to a booster? Answer the poll question. You can let us know in the comments. You can let us know below. We'll try to put up the poll in the podcast if we can.
Yeah, I think the polls are on, I've seen them on Spotify. Okay. We've got to kind of rejigger a little bit of how we work all that, but yeah.
And finally, a reminder to subscribe and find a friend you don't have to clean the house for.
I love it. We'll see y'all soon. Thanks for tuning in.